Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. So Konami just released a new selection pack and there are a lot of cards that I want to talk about, but mainly I want to talk about Dinosaur today because Dinosaur are cool and is one of my favorite archetype. So let's start with the deck profile. First of all, one Fire Opaled. This is your best card to call thanks to your Xenometeorosaurus effect, just because it's another dinosaur level 6 fire monster, so it can be played through under Golden Match and go into your Evosaur Lars, which is a fire too. So yeah, run Fire Opaled and don't run Firstosaurus. You don't need other target for that. One Journal Lockbird because this deck has a really bad matchup into Maxi, so yeah, into both Maxi, but even into opposing John Lockbird, so this is just a crossout target. Animador and Archosaur, you don't need more than one usually, but if you want to run two, you can run two easily. Free Baby Cersaurus because this is the best card that you wanna pop. This card plus any combination of card that can destroy or your Grand Xeno is full combo with a lot of extender follow-up. Free Maxi because this game is horrible. One Petit Pteranodon. There are some argument on playing two Petit Pteranodon. I think one is more than enough. You can use this card to go into your Metasaurus or using it during the opponent turn to go into your interruption like Pankertops or maybe another of your level 4 dinosaur. So you don't need more than one, I think. Otherwise you might end up clogging your hand with too many cards that want to be destroyed, but not not that many cards that actually help you destroying cards. Free Ash Blossom because we expect Maxi because this game is horrible. One Giant Rex. We'll talk about Giant Rex later. One Scrap Chimera because we are playing a small scrap package. I still think this package is worth playing it even if we have the new Firstosaurus Sinometerosaurus card because there are some times where you just want to have a way to deal with cards on your opponent board, and Scrap Chimera and Scrap Wyvern are able to do this. Just popping cards on the field gives you recovery, putting pieces on the board. So I still think it's valuable playing this package. Also, you have access to a level 4 tuner, which can allow you to go into Savage. So I just think this is a good package to keep into the deck. Free Michelinosaurus, thank you for existing. Free Solidity Oviraptor, your best searcher of the deck. 2 Scrap Raptor, you need 2 because with the Scrap line, you just need 1 to summon and then 1 to summon back with Scrap Wyvern. 2 Cinematosaurus. I like this card too. Once because it's a search for Ground Xeno, so you can just add something to search with that. But if you just hard open this card, it's still good. If you start with all your combo, you can just put Baron on the field, then maybe revive it and make other stuff, or you can just decide to go into last straight up. So I like having this card into copy, and I like having multiple search with Gansino. So my Gansino is never completely dead after the first time I do the combo, and I can always try to play this card. So if you want to run one, feel free to run one. I think two is fine and is a correct ratio, at least for me. One Pankertops, you don't need more than one. One Dogoran, you don't need more than one. Kaiju is always good to destroy cards on the field. If you want, you can remove Dogoran because right now it's not that useful anymore. Especially if you're going into Snake Eye matchup because you always have something that maybe can do, you give pieces on the board. So, yeah, I think you can remove Dogoran and it might be something useful to scrap. But for now, I think it's fine to run. And lastly, two Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, boss monster on the deck. You don't need to run free. One UCT is too less. Sometimes you can clog in your hand and not be able to be summoned, but who cares? It's UCT. UCT win games by itself most of the time. Let's go with the spell. Two double evolution peel. One to search because you always want your Archosaur to be live. So if you run one and you happen to draw this card, you might end up not being able to activate Archosaur. So I think Chu is correct. Plus, this is always a good card because it can bring your UCT or it can bring your Punkataps out from the game from the deck and just give you a big body on the field. Free Fossil Dig, best starter of the deck. One Prosperity because this game is terrible and they want us to get consistency. Two Ground Zeno. You could run free Ground Zeno, and I don't think it's wrong playing free Ground Zeno. I just think that you have too few targets to allow you to play the third copy. It's true that opening Ground Zeno plus any combination of Oviraptor or Baby Ceratosaurus or Petit Pteranodon is full combo with a lot of extender, a lot of follow-up, but I still do think this card is not that good right now, at least until we get another cool and useful dinosaur tuner, which there aren't a lot of it right now in the game. So feel free to run free if you want. I think Chu is still more than fine. You have a lot of ways to search your card, so I think Chu is more than fine. Two last word. Three is too much. One is too little. I think two is the correct ratio that you can you should run. Yes, there are some times where you want to open last word and maybe doing stuff, putting things on the field. But I still don't think you need more than two last word. Lastly, two Called by the Grave because Maxi is a thing. One curse out because Maxi is a thing and this game is horrible. And I decided to go with one Infinite Impermanence because I want to have it as a curse out target. So it's more than inside it for that reason, more than for being actually Infinite Impermanence. You can't afford, unfortunately, to run free of that, and you can't afford to run that many Entrap in this deck because you want to see a lot of pieces, a lot of engine. So just play two and pray to see it when you actually need it, or just banish it with Crystal Designator. Let's go talk about the extra deck. One Borrowed Savage Dragon. It's a dragon. You can make it under the Meteor's lock. You can do it thanks to Scrap Raptor. It's another Omni Negate. I think this is still a good card, so I prefer run it over not having it. One Baron the floor. You do Baron way less now that Lars is on the game because you want to go into your Evosaur Lars over your Baron the floor because Lars is 2 Omni-Negate while Baron is just 1. Sort of Omni-Negate, but we will talk about it. But it's still a card that you want you want to run because it's still a good card and there are no particular issue why you shouldn't run this card. One source of Supreme Sovereign Changing. Uh, it's a worm. You can play it under the Meteorosaurus lock. Against some deck, it can win games by itself. Snake Eye doesn't have a great way to deal with that during your turn if you make it, and it can just start banishing cards on his field, on his graveyard, and maybe you pop it again, and maybe you use it again and again. So I still think this is a good card to have, and against some matchup, there are no ways the opponent is able to deal with that. Let's talk about the XYZ package. One Laja, one Dorka. Um, you can cut one of the two. I think it's better cutting Dorka in this moment because you much more prefer having a Nomini negate over having a monster negate. Um, but right now, I still think it's worth running both. If you want to cut one, feel free to cut the one that you think is better suit to better suit for the cut. I think it's better having Ladja in this moment of the meta over Dorka, but up to you. Dinosaur Giga Cannon. This is my personal type. You don't need to run it, but I like this card. I think it's cool, so I wanna run this card. What does it do? It's a generic rank 4 Exceed Monster Dinosaur 2002. When a dinosaur monster destroys an opponent monster by battle and send to the graveyard, you can detach one material from this card, inflict 10,000 damage to your opponent, and then this card gains 1,000 attack. This is not once per turn, so you can actually pump up this card up to 4,002. Second effect, if this XYZ summon card is destroyed, you can target one card on the field, destroy it, and inflict 1000 damage to your opponent. So ideally the combo is you have this card on the board, you have your UCT on the field, you just destroy the monster with UCT, you activate the Dinosaur 2 times, you deal 2000 damage, this card goes up to 4002, you attack directly, and then maybe you pop and you do the last 1000 point of damage, plus the damage that you already done through the attack of Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. It's important to notice that Ginosaurus doesn't trigger if you activate the effect of a UCT to send the card to the graveyard and inflict 1000 damage, but you can just decide how to tool the thing. Maybe has some link, so you just want to activate Ginosaur when you battle the link and activate UCT when you're not battling the link. Up to you. I think this card is cool. It can really be big. You can run Dugares because we still are playing Pentastag. Battle is big. He's a big dinosaur with a big belly that shoots lasers. So run it if you want. If you want. Now, Evos Lars. Let's talk about Lars. This is an amazing card. Level C, rank 6 generic Exceed Monster. While this card is a material, your opponent cannot target this card with monster effect. So it can't impermanence it, it can't do Flambirds, it can't do Princess on the Graveyard, it can't do Unicorn, it can't do a lot of stuff. So a lot of resilience, a lot of inbuilt protection, really good, and you can make this card thanks to Cinemetersaurus plus Fire Opaled. Second effect, quick effect, when your opponent activates a card or an effect, you can detach 2 material from this card or 1 material if your all the material are reptile and or dinosaur, then target one face-up card your opponent control, negate its effect until the end of the turn. So you can make this card with Meteorosaurus plus Fire Opaled. Both are dinosaurs, so you can activate this card 2 times. It's not a hard once per turn, it's not a soft once per turn. You can activate this card 2 times per turn, pretty good, and you're not forced to um, negate what your opponent is activated. Your opponent can activate a card and you can negate something else on the field. I don't know, a board breaker, a big monster, something that might be an issue for you later. So this is a really good and really needed payoff for for this deck. So run it. Don't be shy. Run it one copy. You don't need more than one copy because there's no way you can make it two times. Unfortunately, still a good card. And one copy of Zeus. It's less good right now that we are not playing talents, but it's Zeus. There's you never go wrong when you play Zeus. You can decide to change it with something else. I still think it's worth playing Zeus right now. Link Monster, one Link Kuribo and one Secure Gardener, so you can, if somehow you get stopped and you still have Pin in your hand, you can go uh, Archosaur into Link Kuribo, into Secure Gardener, and activate Peel to bring on the field Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, which is still a crazy card even in this current age because booking every monster in your opponent field is still an amazing effect. One Pentastack because Ultimate Conductor Tyranno is a thing and can win games by itself just by piercing through everything. Scrap Wyvern, one of my favorite cards in this deck because it can just pop cards on the field, it can pop your baby on the field if you need it, it can pop Lost Word token and make you start. Like if you start with Lost Word plus a Scrap Raptor, this is full combo thanks to Scrap Wyvern because you activate Scrap Wyvern, reborn Scrap Raptor, destroy Scrap Raptor, summon another one, pop the token, effect of Lost Word, destroy Baby Cersaurus in the graveyard to save the token, in the deck to save the token, effect of Baby Sarah, add a Solid Raptor, and then you can move on from that position. Pretty good card. I still run it because it's still good. And since we are talking about Scrap Wyvern, let's talk about Spetef. Crazy card, it gives you targeting protection, so your Baron the Fleur, if you make it, your Ultimate Conductor Tyranno cannot be targeted, or even your Dolk or Lagia. Pretty good, and it can revive your Baby Cersaurus from the graveyard or your Petit Pteranodon, giving you extender, giving you material to pop. Crazy card to run. Nightmare Unicorn, you can run whatever you want here. This is a flex spot, and Access Code Talker is a flex spot as well. You almost never do this card. If you need to do Access Code Talker and Nightmare Unicorn, you're in a bad spot. So I don't know how to feel about these two cards. I think can be cut for something else, but right now I don't know what I want to cut for them, so I just decide to to keep running that. I might decide to run a Princess package because it's still a good package to run, because Michelanosaurus is a Fire Master, Sinometerosaurus is a Fire Master, Lars is a Fire Master, you have a lot of cool cards that you want to special summon back. So yeah, feel free to decide what to run here. Okay, I said that we want to talk about Giant Tracks because there's something that has been released that it's important to talk, and is Kaitoptera. Okay, let's talk about this card. If your opponent controls if your opponent controls two or more face-up monster, except wind monster, those monsters cannot target this card for attack. It's irrelevant. You can use only each of the following effect of Kaitoptera once per turn. During your main phase, you can add a polymerization from your deck to your hand. And if this card is banished, you can special summon it and then add a polymerization from your graveyard to your hand. So this card can replace Giant Rex because if you decide to run a small, okay, no, before talking that, let's talk about Onosaurus, which is the fusion that is required that you can make with Chaetoptera. So it requires Chaetoptera plus one dinosaur and one dragon monster. This card can attack directly the Tunis summoned. It's irrelevant. You can use each of the following effect of Onosaurus once per turn. If this card is field summoned, you can place one field spell from your deck or free graveyard face up on the field, and during your main phase, immediately after this effect is over, you can normal summon one dinosaur or one dragon monster. So, why I'm kinda interested into playing this two package? Uh, First of all, Chaetoptera Ornosaurus can be summoned with Gauncino because Gauncino, if you don't know, has a second effect that you can banish this card from your graveyard and fusion summon one fusion monster from Dinosaur fusion monster from your X deck using material from your hand or field. So if you have a Chaetoptera in your hand, you can fusion summon banish Ground Xeno fusion summon Chaetoptera plus something else to go into Ornithosaurus. Effect of Ornithosaurus, play Lost Word from your deck. Effect of Ornithosaurus, normal summon your dinosaur and go from that point. So it can give you some cool and interesting recursion. Additionally, there's another card that I think it's worth mentioning, which is Echo the Fleur. And this card is extremely underrated. So let's read it together. Field spell: if the turn player summon exactly one monster, destroy it, and its controller can special summon one mask token, spellcaster dark level 1 to the field, which cannot attack directly, with the attack and defense equal to what the destroying monster had on the field. You can use the effect of one equal the zone once per turn, and if this face-up card leaves the field, destroy all mask token on the field. Why this card I think has so much crazy potential? Because let's start. This card by itself is full combo with Baby Ceratosaurus because normal summon activate Echo the Zone, normal summon Baby Ceratosaurus, Baby Ceratosaurus get destroyed by Echo the Zone, Baby Ceratosaurus can trigger and bring your Oviraptor or your Scapraptor to go from that point, which is still good, is still a crazy thing you can do, or you can just even decide to go into Chaetoptera add polymerization and proceed from that point. I don't know how, but proceed from that point. But the second effect, the first effect of this card is still extremely good, especially in the Snake Eye matchup, because let's if the opponent start with only Snake Eyes monster, like I don't know, Ash or Poplar or something, they had to destroy the monster first. So if they start with Ash, they can't use Ash effect to just summon something. It's an interesting type of interruption, which not a lot of people know how to play around it. I don't know if it's that good to run Ecodezone right now or run that package, which should be one Ecodezone, one polymerization, one Chaetoptera, one or Ornithosaurus. But there are some cool interaction that you can do with this card that not a lot of people expect. I still think running a cold zone is a little tricky, and I don't want to use your material to craft this card. But it's something you can consider, and I think it's something that we can experiment. Even because just running the Chaetoptera part, you can actually play something like I don't know, Guardian Chimera. Yeah, you can run something like Guardian Chimera as a follow-up and have this big monster that comes on the field, destroy up to two cards, draw you cards. So there's some cool thing you can do, and if you don't need a cold zone with Hornosaurus, you can just activate Lost Word from the deck. Feel free to toy around with this engine. I think it's cool. Right now, I still decided to play Giant Rex because I'm not running the polymerization package. But if I decide to run the polymerization package, this is something I for sure want to try. And this card would be replaced for Chaetoptera. So I hope you enjoyed this deck profile and this in-depth deck profile. Um, if you enjoyed, tell it in the comment, like and subscribe, and see you next time for some video, hopefully with the dinosaur replay. Bye, everybody.